What is good, y'all? Welcome back to Appreciate Greatness. Today, I'm going to be talking about some of my mid-major conference championship predictions, but also just talking about some teams. This is how every year I prepare for March Madness and the tournament and the video I do. And obviously, high major conferences, ACC, all of those, they don't start their conference tournaments for about another week. So we have some that have even already started for mid-majors. Those games are pretty meaningless. They're the bottom of the barrel teams that have started to play. But yeah, we're just going to I'm just going to talk about, some of the teams and kind of my predictions for who wins each conference. But yeah, if I might have missed a conference, but if I did, please let me know. I might, throw a comment out there about, what I think about the conference or what I think about the top team, whatever. But we're going to get right into it, and we're going to start with the ASUN. I think most of these are in ABC order, if not all of them. So we're going to start with the ASUN. To me, there's no doubt it's Central Arkansas or Austin Peay. I don't even know how to pronounce that. I've never actually pronounced it. I normally call them Austin. I don't know if I've ever talked about Austin Peay though. Anyway, Central Arkansas won that matchup the first game. I think in the only game they played even. But I lean toward Austin Peay. They're amongst the top of the country in steals. They're a really solid shooting team. They dominated the ASUN. And I think Central Arkansas more of just caught fire late, and that's why they became the 1 seed. They've never made March Madness though, so it'd be cool to see that happen. But my prediction is Austin Peay, and I don't really see either of these teams making a big splash in March Madness or a big upset. I don't think they have David and Goliath. I don't think they have that David power to beat a bigger team. Moving on to the Big Sky, it's Montana State for me pretty easily. I think Northern Colorado is a dark horse, but I really just didn't watch much Big Sky basketball this year, and I do know that Montana State's a pretty solid team, so that's my pick. Going to the Big South, and again, Big Sky I didn't watch much of, and then the Northeast Conference I didn't watch much of, but most of these other ones, like the Big South, for example, High Point, I think I watched 5-6 High Point games this year, and then on top of that, I went back and watched 3 games. I can't remember who I watched or who they were playing in all of those, but yeah, I've watched plenty of High Point basketball, and they are good, man. They're worlds better than anyone in the Big South, just in general. They don't turn the ball over. They force a ton of turnovers. They're probably going to be a 12-13 seed. I think I'll probably be taking them. They have a loaded top of their team. I think it's like 4 players maybe in double digits scoring wise. Cameron Fletcher is out here. He was a freshman in 2020, but sick name. I think he started at Kentucky. Now he's at High Point in hooping. But yeah, they're my pick for the Big South, and they're probably gonna be able to take down a 5 seed, to be honest. Next is the CAA. I'm going UNC Wilmington. They played a really tough non-con schedule as well. They shoot the ball really well. They limit opponent three-pointers, and they're a super deep team. They have 7 9+ point per game scorers. But Hofstra also is in this conference. They're a pretty good defensive team. I think they're a little better than UNC Wilmington is defensively, but Wilmington's just such a deep team. Again, they shoot the ball well. And they don't. I think they're I think it's 28% 3-point percentage against. So their opponent shoots 28% from 3 against them when they play. So I'm going UNC Wilmington there. I don't think they'll be able to come up with an upset in the Madness, but I think they're going to win their conference pretty easily. Next is Horizon Conference, and everyone outside of Wright State has some flaws. You can't ever count out Greg Camp in Oakland. Obviously, Robert Morris shoots the hell out of the ball, but Wright State plays a lot of guys. They don't have a guy above 30 minutes per game, I think, and they shoot really well from 3. They don't allow their opponent to get a ton of 3s up. I'm going to go with Wright State there. The MAAC, this is going to be a short-ish video too, probably, just covering some of the teams, whatever. MAAC, I'm going Merrimack. They're really good defensively. Kavere Kennedy, he's one of the best scoring freshmen in the country. I think he shoots 17, 18%, or I think he averages 17, 18 from, goodness gracious, 17 or 18 points per game. But the big thing is, and this is what I was trying to talk about in my head, was they don't shoot the ball well from three at all. Merrimack does, so that'll be interesting in the MAAC tournament. The MAC, which is getting a name change. I don't remember what they said they were going to change it to, but it's getting a name change, which is pretty awesome. Going to the Missouri Valley Arch Madness. We love Arch Madness. Belmont is really, 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 really good. I think they're the team that everyone's going to pick. I don't think they're built to win a March Madness game, but they're definitely built to win the Missouri Valley Conference. They shoot 61% from two. They're fifth in the nation from two. They're second in the nation from three at 41%. They're such a good team, but I think, I'm throwing it out there, I think there's a Cinderella. I think Northern Iowa is going to win the conference. They're sixth in the conference, but they're so good. It's backed up by advanced analytics. They limit threes. They have 5 guys who score more than 9 points per game. They're just a really, really, really good team. And obviously they've sputtered a little bit, but I really think that they have a shot at the Missouri Valley Conference. In the perfect world, Belmont gets a at-large, and Northern Iowa wins the conference and gets in. And you see 2 Missouri Valley Conferences teams, but that won't happen, obviously, because they'll put a 15-win Missouri in or whatever. Anyway, Northeast Conference. Again, this is a league I didn't watch a ton of, but I have seen that guy on TikTok for Long Island. The Fins Up, man. We're going Fins Up all the way. They're the best team in the conference analytically by a mile. I haven't watched. I didn't even go back and watch a game. I don't know if I could even find one on ESPN Plus if I looked. But it's Fins Up, man. Fins Up, Northeast Conference. They're going to win. Next, Ohio Valley Conference. UT Martin's my favorite team in the conference, but they play really good defense. They have a sick story. They have so many European players. They're coached from a JUCO. He brought some of those guys with him. And it's pretty even top to bottom as a conference, the Ohio Valley Conference is, the OVC. But I'm going to go with Tennessee State. They're at top of the conference. They have a three-headed monster at guard. I mean, I really, really, really like them. At point guard, I think it's a point guard, shooting guard, and a small forward. And then Aaron Nkrumah, he averages 17 and 3 steals. It's a good team. It's a really good team. The Patriot League, I think Navy's just the best team in the Patriot League by a lot. They've won 12 straight coming into the conference tourney. They played a really tough non-con schedule. They played North Carolina, stuck with North Carolina at that, and I just don't see them losing the league. And they're really, really good defensively. I think they also have a big averaging 19 maybe, so that's pretty sick. And I don't have all of this written down. What I have written down in front of me is just kind of my winners, and then I'm kind of riffing, trying to remember. I really didn't prepare super well for this, but I'm trying to remember some of their stats and some of the advanced analytics. So hopefully I'm not wrong on anything. And if I am, please flame me for it in the comments. But now to the SoCon. ETSU, they played a solid non-conference. They have 3 14-point per game scorers. 2 of them shoot 57. This is written down, by the way. 2 of them shoot 57%. Blake Barkley and, goodness gracious, Cam Morris, I believe, the third. They also have a point guard, Brian Taylor, Brian Thomas, one of those two. And he's shooting 45% from the field, 46% from the field. So they're really at the top, really, really efficient team. And they have those 3 14-point per game scorers that really carry them game in, game out. I really like that team. Next is my favorite. This is a conference I'm going to be keeping my eye on because St. Thomas and North Dakota, it's the Summit League, by the way. St. Thomas and North Dakota State is so fun. And they split the season series. St. Thomas, I think it was 84-62 was the score of the second matchup, the most recent matchup. And I think I have St. Thomas winning it. They are a team who 5 years ago were D3. They come in, shout out Austin Hero as well, Tyler Hero's little brother, playing for St. Thomas. I think they're going to win the conference. I think they'll find themselves at a 13-14 seed, and I think they have a high shot at winning it. It's their first year eligible to go to the NCAA tournament last year. They played Omaha, I want to say, in the conference championship. And, they weren't even eligible to go to March Madness, so Omaha had just punched their ticket no matter what. But St. Thomas is fourth in effective field goal percentage, first in two-point percentage in the entire country. Like, this is a really, really, really good team and a fun team to watch. And Austin Hero can hoop, man. I know, it's Tyler Hero's brother. You think nepotism, but that dude, he can hoop. He went to South Carolina, I want to say, and then transferred to St. Thomas. He is a very good basketball player. Two left, the Sun Belt and the West Coast Conference. The Sun Belt, it's the Fun Belt, man. It's the conference tourney that started it all. It's the one game at a time, but man, it is hell this year. There are 6 teams. So I think Troy's like 12-5 or 12-6, I guess it would be. And then the next 6 teams are 11-7, tied for second place. 6 teams tied for second place. Arkansas State is one of the top-ranked teams in the conference analytically, according to Bart Torvik. I think they're second. They're the top-ranked team according to Bart Torvik. Let me look at this real quick. But I'll talk about them a little bit. They're the 7th seed in the conference, and yeah, they're the number 1 ranked team. They're 142 rank according to Bart Torvik. Troy's 155, who is the top seed. But you have App State, South Alabama, Marshall, James Madison, Coastal Carolina, Arkansas State, and maybe Texas State. I think they're all tied. For second place in this conference. And it's a conference that you'll see the bracket. I'll flash it up. But it's not the conference you want to be. Same with the West Coast Conference. They adapted the Sun Belt tourney thing. It's not a conference you want to be the 7th seed in. But Arkansas State's hot coming in the tourney. I think they've won 7 of their last 8 of their last 9, something like that. But they have to win 5 straight now to win the Sun Belt. I think Troy's going to win. They shoot a lot of threes. They played a crazy non-con. I like the Troy team. I think the 1 seed has a big advantage in the Sun Belt, obviously, and I think they're going to win. Next, the West Coast Conference. They should have 3 teams in the tourney no matter what, in my opinion. St. Mary's, Gonzaga, and Santa Clara. Gonzaga is the 1 seed, and they were my preseason pick as national champs. They're a veteran team. They're super old, led by Graham Ike, and then Braden Huff, who's injured, which it's going to hurt them a lot. I do like Tyon Grant Foster. I like Mario St. Cyprien. I kind of predict Adam Miller is just going to get hot at some point. Like, maybe it's in March Madness, maybe it's in the conference tourney, but wherever it is, I think he's going to get hot at some point. I still think Gonzaga is my pick, but man, St. Mary's is a really good team. They're led by Paulius, I guess, or Pauli. I don't even know. Morauskas. That name I do know. Paulius Morauskas. They shoot the hell out of the ball. But they also move it really well. I think Morauskas himself averages 2 assists. Oh my gosh. I'm not blanking right now. Okay. We're just going to keep talking. I'm blanking. But they rebound really, really, really well. They have Harry Wessels, who's a really good rebounder. He comes off the bench for them. They're probably, honestly, the best rebounding team in the country. Man, hold on. I'm going to pull up their Bart Torvik. Andrew McKeever is who I was going to talk about. Andrew McKeever, he averages 8 and 9. He only shoots 51% from the field, but he is such a good rebounder. And then Joshua Dent was actually the guy I wanted to talk about. 13 points per game, 6 assists, 1.6 steals, and then we'll look at their Bart Torvik. They rebound. They're third in defensive rebound rate, 13th in offensive rebound rate. So they're probably the best rebounding team in the country. They also shoot the 3 really, really well. They're 9th in the country in 3-point percentage, and they're 34th in 3-point percentage allowed. So, I mean, this is a really, really good St. Mary's team. This probably, honestly, they're probably a Sweet 16 team. They're really good. And then Santa Clara, they have 3 hyper-efficient scorers at the top. Honestly, led by Allen Graves, but he's the 3rd best scorer on their team. They're a really, really good team. They're good defensively. And actually, I have their Bart Torvik pulled up. I don't know why I opened a new tab. Another great rebounding team. They don't really shoot the 3 well. They shoot the 2 really well. They're really good at getting around the rim, finishing inside. But that's what's interesting is my dog might make an appearance here shortly. He's just off screen right now. But yeah, Christian Hammond, dog. He averages 16, I want to say. Almost. Hey, there he is. There's my boy. That's Barkley right there. Boom. Yeah, Christian Hammond averages 16, I think, on like 50, 40, 80 splits. Like, he's really good. And then Elijah Mahi, he averages, I think, 14. And then Alan Graves, he's like 10, 6 or 11, 6 and 2 and 2 or something. And then like a block a game. And he's super efficient at 50, 40 as well. So really, really great squad there. I just clicked 3 tabs I didn't mean to. And if I'm going to throw out, just because it's the West Coast Conference, if I was going to throw out underdog, Seattle's pretty good. They're pretty good. They're solid. Yeah. They don't shoot the 3 well. They defend really well, but that's really it. So that's my mid-major kind of wrap-up for the year, my predictions. And there are some mid-major tourneys that haven't even started yet. Let me see. I'm going to pull it up real quick. So you have the Power 5. They start March 10th, March 11th. Then the Mountain West, more mid-major. They start the 11th. Atlantic 10 starts the 11th. So I'll cover that in a different video. The American, the WAC, they both start the 11th. The Ivy League, the MAC starts the 12th. So yeah, just the bigger conferences, the Big West. Yeah. The Southland. Did I talk about the Southland Conference? I didn't. Well, that sucks. They probably won't get talked about. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I missed any. And then I'll make a whole separate video on like the 9th talking about the major conferences, the power conferences and their tournaments. But I hope y'all enjoyed this one. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. More videos on the way, as I said. And yeah, it's my favorite time of the year, man. Let's go. March Madness, turn up. Let's go. All right, Barkley, showing off. All right, I love y'all. Peace.